How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. Let's talk a little Reds baseball. It's been a while. It has been a long time since we talked Reds baseball. Partly because Reds baseball didn't want us to talk about it. When you just let every play out the door, it's like, well, let's see what you're gonna do. But you know what? As much as that drew me away from the game last year and having interest where it just felt like the ownership gave up on a team, it's like you look at what they're building now, and it's like looking up and down this paper, it's like we gotta give them a chance. The over-under this season for the Cincinnati Reds, all over the Bengals talk, for the Cincinnati Reds is 65.5 wins on DraftKings right now. That would be, well, not a lot of wins. They'd just be shy of hitting the 100-loss mark again. But I think you look back at this team and say, can they go over 65? I mean, let's break things down. First of all, Will Myers coming to this team, it's a really interesting ad here that really was not. It kind of went under the radar. Will Myers added to this outfield, leaving Petco. Will Myers was a great hitter at one point in time in his career. Wasn't as flashy as late, and he's still batted 250. But you take this guy out of Petco and bring him to the Great American Ballpark, I think he has a very good chance of having a resurgence here. So that helps the outfield a little bit. Obviously, the rest of the outfield, lots of question marks. We got Senzel, but we're not even going to, at this point in time. Man, I love Senzel. I really like this guy. He's a talented player, but it's gotten to that point in time now where it's like I don't even count on him to play because the injury, he can't stay healthy. It's terrible for him because I think he's got so much potential, but it is what it is for the Reds at this point. It's like you can't bank on this guy playing the whole season. I really do hope. Nothing but the best. Man, if this guy could just get a couple of years under his belt, stay in health, I'd love to see him get the chance. You feel for the guy. You really do. Like, he can't stay healthy on the field. But the rest of the outfield you're questioning. But the infield, Jonathan India, I think he bounces back. You say Jonathan India bounces back, good season. Joey Votto, I think the shift is something we don't talk about enough of how much it's going to affect Joey Votto. This is a guy that the only reason pitchers were stopping him lately is because they was jamming him inside. They was putting the shift on. He crowds the play. If he can, the thing with Votto now, it's like he can have his normal stance. He can take his normal approach. And there's nothing teams can do about it. Yeah, you can pitch him inside like you've been these last few seasons. But now when he pulls that ball down the sides, it's like, well, they banned the shift. You're going to see a lot more contact-driven base hits, or a lot more base hits out of Joey Votto. I think you see him start to play like the Joey Votto of old. I know he's getting older, but this is a guy, he's got that perfectionist in him. He's a great player. And I think he's more than capable of being one of these guys that's 39-40, like a David Ortiz. A lot different than David Ortiz. But you know what I mean? The thing where Ortiz was killing it. And in his final year in the league, it's like, I think Votto's got that capability. And Votto's got that capability where you put a guy like him on this team and scare the rest of he can terrify the rest of the leagues and wreak havoc himself. And I think you look at that, you say India, you say Myers, you say Votto. We look at Tyler Stevenson, if he can stay healthy, heck of a player. The top four in this lineup's really solid. Really solid. That can put up runs. Then you got De La Cruz, Barrera. What happens at shortstop? You have to believe. That's the thing with the Reds. I think you look and say, well, we got a lot of question marks with these young guys, but I think you sit and stop and say it's like, it's nothing but upside though, right? You expect these guys to grow and play better than the year they did before. You think it can't be, the wins above replacement of the Reds, I guess, not as a whole, but as the Reds wins above replacement from last year, this year, it's like you have to believe these guys, the upside is there. And these guys got a really good chance to plug and play and be solid players. And again, you don't want to, that has been a problem with the Reds before. It's like you get to the bottom side of the lineup and it's like things kind of fall apart. But if you can get top 4, top 5 consistency, and then you get a couple of these youngsters, not even a couple, maybe just one, to really come out this season, bat 260, 270, it's like, okay, 5, 6 guys in this order can hit. You get to 7, 8, yeah, it's tough. But hey, it's baseball. You can win games like that. They've done it in the past. They can win more than 65 with that. I don't think this is a championship roster we're trying to build here clearly this year. I think they got some time. I mean, the window can happen if these guys can figure it out. But it's like, that's the thing. We're not saying, is this team winning in the playoffs this year? I don't think we're talking about that, sadly. But I think this is a team that can really build and improve from last year. I think this is a team that can hit over 65 wins. You look at the bullpen. TJ Antone's going to come back. Missed all of last season. The bullpen's looking nasty. The back end of it, at least. I don't know. Lucas Sims, you always want to hope this guy can bounce back. But, I mean, you talk about Alexi Diaz and TJ Antone. That is a nasty 8 and 9 inning 1-2 punch if you can get to those innings. I love this. I'm excited to see what those two can do. And And it just takes a couple of these other guys to find their footing in the bullpen. You talk 7, 8, 9. You got 8 and 9 figured out and locked down, I think. And they can win games or hold games close. The problem, again, bullpens can be a big backbreaker. We've seen that in the past. If they can't lock these games down. But I think they got 2 guys in this back end that can lock these games down. Bengals can keep the games, or Reds can keep the games low scoring and win some ball games. Starting rotation. Again, a lot of question marks. Hunter Greene, Lodolo. 2 guys are going to take the next step, though, I think. The big next step from last year to this year. I think they're going to play better than they did last year. I think this team can, again, form together. Ashcraft as well, take another step. These, that 1-2-3 punch that they've done so well in the past of developing pitchers or bringing guys in, Sonny Grays and stuff like that. That can really bolster the top end of this rotation, help them win. We'll figure out 4 and 5. I think the one thing, it's weird because it's like, look at all the fresh faces. They don't really have that cog veteran on their team kind of thing in the rotation. But the one thing the Reds have historically done really well is develop starting pitching. So that's the one position. It's like, I think you got to give them a chance to figure it out. Overall, they're going to have their ups and downs this season. They really are. They're going to have a lot. It's a young group. It's going to be tough. There's going to be some ups. There's going to be some downs. But it's like, hey, if they can just progress throughout the season, play better throughout the season, and just progress, build on from what they had last year, as a lot of these youngsters do better this year than they did last year, and go from there. It's like there's there's light at the end of the tunnel, if you will. They got a while. The Reds are clearly in this building phase. They make no mistakes about it. But if these guys can do their part and grow and improve, start to build a foundation, they really are. You build around in India, you build around in Stevenson. They got some guys you can build around. Hunter Greene. This year, though, I still think there's going to be some ups and downs for some of these youngsters. And I think the Reds, though, I think they can get 70 plus. I think 68 to 72 wins for their I can't stop with the Bengals. I'm sorry. Oh, football just ended. It's like, oh yeah, baseball's a sport. I think they can get 68, 72 wins, maybe a bit more, maybe more. I think it's a reasonable area. I think they hit the over on 65.5. I love to hear you guys' thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.